All right, we're on day 2 of quadratic formula. So yesterday on the first day, everything was like perfect for us. The equations were in the right order. Today, I'm not having everything be in order. Today, I've got, some things on the left, some things on the right, and we're going to have some instances where underneath the square root, there's going to be a negative number. So that's new. And so with the quadratic formula, let's write down the actual formula on the paper. Whatever version you like, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. That's the quadratic formula. And I need to start off with everything on the left. This is the format that I need to have. Today, my examples are not like ready to go. I have to do some work first. I'm always going to want a positive in front. So right now, this negative 15x squared, that's not good. I don't want negative in front of the x squared. So if I want everything on one side and I need a positive ax squared, what should I do to start moving things? Okay.
You could move the a and then multiply by 1.
Oh, there's a quicker way. You're right. But there's an easier way. He wants to move the 8 over to the right, but there's another way to get the 15x squared to be positive.
Just move the 15.
Yeah. Okay, so the 15x squared to the left? Yeah. So I've got 15x squared plus 8x equals negative 1. Take a break. I need equals 0. It doesn't say equals 0. Everything needs to be on one side. I'm not there yet. Tell me what to do. Add 1 to both sides. So everything, now these are all not like terms. So it's not like you're going to be doing 8x plus 1 or anything. Keep it separate. And now that everything's on one side, now I can begin. So like a equals 15, b equals 8, c equals 1. And then I can do the quadratic formula. I'll need space, so I'm going to do it up here. Negative 8, negative b, plus or minus the square root of b squared, 8 squared, minus 4 times 15 times 1. 4ac all over 2 times 15. Do you guys want to get your calculators? These numbers don't seem well. Okay. 8 squared is what? 64. Let's go by tables to get help. Okay. 4 times 15. Table 1. 15 4 times. 60. All over 2 times 15. 30. Okay. Negative 8 plus or minus the square root of 4 over 30. That's easy. Square root of 4 is what? 2. So it's negative 8 plus 2, negative 8 minus 2. Negative 8 plus 2 over 30, negative 8 minus 2 over 30. And simplify them out. You get 2 answers. Go ahead. Fraction answers this time, which is totally fine. So, table 2, what's this first fraction? Negative 6 over 30. I want you to go one step. Becomes what? This is table 2. Oh, negative 1/5. 1/5, okay? All right. Table 3, what's the second one? Yes. Negative 10 over 30, negative 1/3. So I'll circle them in green. Those are going to be my x-intercepts, my zeros, my roots. Okay. Second one. Ooh, move things. Does not look good. What do I move? What? What do I move over? Because I can't do it like this.
Negative 4x squared.
Negative 4x squared. Okay, take a break from helping. More people. So, everything's on one side. 4x squared plus 7x plus 5 equals 0. All right. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. X equals negative 7 plus or minus the square root of b squared, 7 squared, minus 4 times 4 times 5. All over 2a. All over 2 times 4. All right. We are going to get something weird under the square root. 49 minus 4 times 5. You should do the 4 times 5 first. 20 times 4. 80. All over 8. Negative 7 plus or minus the square root of. What's 49 take away 80? Negative 31 all over 8. Okay, now something happens. We've never had a negative under square root. In math, that's not good. What if there's a negative under the square root? You cannot have a negative square root. This is something that's new to you guys today. We're going to introduce imaginary numbers. If you ever have a square root of negative 1, I represent that as an lowercase I for imaginary number. So it's going to be negative 7 plus or minus, and I'm going to do negative 1 times 31. I have to pull out the negative 1 because the negative sign under a square root cannot stay. Like, that's not going to work. So, square root of negative 1. This comes out as an I. Negative 7 plus or minus, you're going to put an I outside. You take out the negative 1, and it changes into an imaginary number. And then I put the positive 31 under. And all over 8. I can't do a thing with that. And to be honest, you can't even figure out with your calculator what that value would be because the I is there. This is called an imaginary root, an imaginary x-intercept. It's not going to touch and cross the x-axis. Negative sign, negative 1 under the square root. You take out the negative sign, so I split up this negative 31 into a negative 1 times the 31. Negative 1 comes out as I. So we need to practice that again, okay? Your answer you can't get a decimal for this. You just leave it in this weird format. Okay. Number 1 on the back side. That's not ready to go. Fix it, please. What do I do? It doesn't say equals 0. It's not like lined up and ready. So what do I do? Move the 7. The 7 goes with what? What's its like term? The 2, the 8, or the 9? The 9, because they're both just constants. Here's my math problem. 2x squared minus 8x plus 2 equals 0. Okay. X equals, let's get started, negative 8. Negative b. Plus or minus the square root of negative 8 squared minus 4 times 2 times 2. All over 2 times a. Okay. Simplify it out. So do all the math under the square root. 64 minus 16. All over 4. This is not going to have an imaginary number. This is going to be fine. What's 64 minus 16? 48. I can simplify the 48. 48 has a perfect square in it. Which of these numbers goes into 48? 1 or 4 or 9 or 16 or 25? Which of these goes in? 16 times 3. It is. So I'm going to go like this. 8 plus or minus the square root of 16 times 3 all over 4. 16 comes out. 8 plus or minus 4 rad 3 over 4. And then, since all of these are on the outside, can't touch the 3 in there, but 8 and 4 and 4, they go into each other. 4 goes into all of them. So I'm simplifying the things that are out. They become a 2. Oh, wait, no, it becomes a 1, and a 2. So all right, 2 plus or minus the square root of 3. That's it. X equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 3. Let's jump to 4. Number 4 is going to have an imaginary in it. Okay, move the 6 first. There is no b. A equals 4, b equals 0, c equals 2. There is no b. Go ahead and do this one on your own. Number 4. We're jumping to that. You should get a negative under there. All right, negative 0 plus or minus the square root of 0 squared minus 4 times a, which is 4, times 2. All over 2 times 4. Plus or minus negative 32. 16 times 2. Come on. All over 8. Okay. A negative underneath the sign. Break it apart. And honestly, 32 can even go more, but for now, let's just do this. Negative 1 times 32. Negative 1 times 32. So it's going to be plus or minus I rad 32. Honest, guys, 32 can be broken up. 16 times 2. You have to go further. Simplify as best you can. So it's going to be plus or minus I rad 16 times 2 over 8. 16 is a perfect square. Plus or minus 4 comes out, and it's with the I. Rad 2.
Still do 1.
And I still can, don't touch the 2. 4 over 8. 1/2. You know that this was like 0 plus or minus, right? But I don't need to write 0. Lead is crazy.
Do we have to write the 1?
What 1?
For when we simplify this?
No, 1s are a waste of your time. Sorry, I need a new pencil. Plus or minus I rad 2 all over 2. And those 2's cannot be simplified. That was a lot, guys.
That's what x equals.
That was a lot. X equals in front. This is an imaginary answer. You cannot even graph this. So let's do a little bit of practice with these I's. If I got like the square root of negative 7, what would you do? How would I write that? Because remember, the square root of negative 1 equals I. Imaginary number. Tell me what to do. Negative 1 times 7. So good. I rad 7 is the answer. I'll give you another one. Square root of negative 25. Ooh. $25 is a perfect square. Negative in front of it. This is good stuff. No. What's the final answer? Well, I don't have a plus minus in front. Usually I would. But it's just going to be right now 5i. So I just want you to realize that if there's ever a negative sign under the square root, I can actually do something with it. I don't just quit. Because in Algebra 1, we don't teach students about I and negative 1. We just say, oh, just leave it negative. That's it. So, just so you know, one step further. Okay. So, I need to give you, for homework, 1 and then 3 and then the evens. I forgot that I changed 1 and 3 by hand. Even though I told someone else just now evens, right? 1, 3, and then 6, 8, 10, 12. 6, 8, 10. 12. Let's cross out 16. That's just getting to be a lot. Cross out 14.
16.
Cross out 16, but you have to do 18 and 20, factoring. Okay, 12, 18, 20. 10, 8, 6, 1, 1, 3. There it is. 1, 3, 6, 8, 10, 12, 18, 20.